William, Prince of Wales, pledge my loyalty to you, and faith and truth I will bear unto you, as your liege man of life and limb. So help me God.
Prince William, the future king, was visibly moved to tears as King Charles finally granted him a long-awaited and prestigious royal title. But the road to this emotional moment wasn't easy. Prince William imploded as King Charles initially refused to give him the promised title.
That all my family are feeling, we also share with so many of you in the United Kingdom.
Leading to private tensions and a dramatic turning point in their relationship. What caused the delay? And why did this title mean so much to William? Join us as we dive into the powerful story behind this royal milestone and what it means for the future of the monarchy.
As we've all heard throughout today, if we are going to improve the mental health of our nation, we need to improve things at work.
Prince William's public versus private life. Prince William may be the future king of the United Kingdom, but behind the polished royal image lies a story of quiet heartbreak, resilience, and emotional struggle. In public, he appears calm, composed, and focused, speaking out on issues like mental health and homelessness, attending royal events with dignity, and earning a solid 75% approval rating, according to YouGov. But few see the man behind the crown. At just 15 years old, William experienced a trauma that would forever shape him. Walking behind his mother, Princess Diana's coffin, watched by millions around the world. He later described that moment as the very worst pain any child or parent will ever endure. In the years that followed, William buried his grief, believing he had to be the strong one, until it began to take a toll. Over time, William began to speak more openly about mental health, not just for others, but for himself. Alongside Catherine and Prince Harry, he co-founded the Heads Together campaign,
Mental health is just as important as physical health.
aiming to break the stigma around seeking help. His service as an air ambulance pilot exposed him to traumatic scenes, and he confessed that some cases penetrated the armor even he had built around himself. The media has been another source of deep pain. William has never forgotten how the press relentlessly hounded his mother, and after her death, he felt they crossed an unforgivable line. He and Catherine have faced similar invasions of privacy, even taking legal action in 2009 and 2014. In 2020, William settled a phone hacking case against the news of the world.
Prince William appears to have discreetly settled his own phone hacking case.
A quiet but powerful move to protect his family and reclaim some control. Despite the pressure, William remains devoted to keeping his mother's memory alive. He keeps photos of Diana in his home, speaks of her often to his children, and has said that sharing those memories is part of his healing process. He's also admitted that his mental health got had, but speaking to trusted people helped him find his way back. One moment that revealed just how deeply William connects his royal duty to personal emotion was his 2019 visit to New Zealand after the mosque shootings.
I've had reasons myself to reflect on grief and sudden pain and loss in my own life.
Witnesses described his speech as profoundly moving, echoing Princess Diana's compassion and showing the depth of his own quiet grief. Prince William may be a future king, but he's also a son still healing, a father trying to protect, and a man who has slowly learned that true strength lies not in silence, but in vulnerability. True epitome of patience. For much of his life, Prince William wore a brave face. After losing his mother, Princess Diana, when he was just a teenager, he did what many around him expected. He buried his pain, suppressing his grief to appear strong.
What you've been through, particularly with your mum.
You feel pain like no other pain, but it also brings you so close to all those other people out there who have been bereaved.
In public, he was the composed prince, fulfilling royal duties with dignity. But inside, the weight of that loss lingered quietly for years. It wasn't until adulthood that William began to truly confront the depth of his grief. In interviews, he's admitted that for a long time, he felt he had to put on a brave face, believing it was his role not to show emotion. But that began to change through his charity work, especially when meeting bereaved families. He realized how healing it can be to talk about loss openly, and how damaging it is to carry it alone. Everything shifted again when William became a father. Welcoming Prince George, then Princess Charlotte, and Prince Louis reopened wounds William had long tried to close. He has shared that becoming a dad re-triggered the pain of losing his own mother because she wasn't there to meet his children or to guide him through the challenges of parenthood. He once described the early days of fatherhood as overwhelming, emotionally intense in ways he hadn't anticipated. In those moments, he leaned heavily on Catherine for support. Despite his own upbringing in a world where emotion was often hidden behind protocol, William is determined to raise his children differently. He and Catherine actively keep Diana's memory alive in their home, sharing stories, showing photos, and ensuring she's a presence in their children's lives. He believes remembering her openly is a crucial part of healing. Now, as both a prince and a parent, William is leading by example, fostering emotional openness within his family and speaking out publicly about mental health. His journey from a grieving teenager to a compassionate father reveals a softer, deeply human side of the future king, one shaped by loss, love, and a desire to break the cycle of silence. The fractured bond with Harry. Prince William and Prince Harry were once inseparable, brothers bound not only by blood, but by profound loss. The image of them walking side by side behind Princess Diana's coffin in 1997 remains etched in the public's memory. Two grieving boys, united in sorrow and forced into the spotlight far too young. For years afterward, their bond appeared unshakable. They attended public engagements together, served in the military, and supported each other through major life transitions. But as adulthood set in, their roles and their worlds began to diverge sharply. William, the heir, was groomed from a young age to carry the weight of the monarchy. Harry, the spare, was left with a more ambiguous path.
I'm trying to put a stop to this. I can't ever imagine, and I don't want to imagine, history repeating itself, right?
Often praised for his charisma, but criticized for his lack of direction. In his 2023 memoir, Spare, Harry revealed the emotional toll of growing up as the second son in an institution that, by design, placed William first. He described feeling marginalized, unsupported, and at times invisible within the royal system. Tensions deepened with the introduction of Meghan Markle into Harry's life. According to Spare, William expressed early disapproval, allegedly calling Meghan abrasive, difficult, and rude. Harry recounted a physical altercation in which William, during a heated argument, grabbed him by the collar and knocked him to the floor. An incident that left Harry shocked and wounded, both physically and emotionally. The rift widened in 2020 when Harry and Meghan stepped down as senior royals and moved to North America. While the decision was framed publicly as a bid for privacy and autonomy, it privately fractured family ties.
Or was a move because you weren't getting enough support from the firm?
It was both.
William was reportedly blindsided and deeply hurt by the sudden departure. The brothers' relationship grew increasingly strained as Harry and Meghan gave high-profile interviews criticizing the royal family and its treatment of them. In the years that followed, any semblance of reconciliation has remained elusive. William has since assumed several of Harry's former roles, including being named Colonel-in-Chief of the Army Air Corps in 2025, a post that once held deep personal significance for Harry, given his own military service as an Apache pilot in Afghanistan. The appointment was seen by some as a symbolic shifting of loyalty and duty, further underscoring the distance between the brothers. Publicly, William has offered only guarded remarks. During a recent engagement, he referred to family as a mixed bag, a rare but telling comment that hinted at unresolved tensions. Behind the scenes, royal insiders and experts suggest that any communication between the brothers has been minimal and strained, with no substantial personal reconciliation since the funeral of Queen Elizabeth in September 2022. The damage, many believe, is not irreparable, but it runs deep. The public feuds, Harry's memoir, the media scrutiny, and the absence of meaningful private dialogue have left the once close brothers on opposite sides of a chasm that neither has yet crossed. Harry's explosive revelations. Prince Harry's recent public revelations through his memoir Spare, the Oprah Winfrey interview, and televised appearances have shaken the foundations of the British royal family, pulling back the curtain on years of personal pain, family tension, and emotional estrangement. In Spare, Harry delved deeply into his struggles with grief, identity, and substance use. He admitted to experimenting with drugs from a young age, revealing that he used cocaine as a teenager, not for pleasure, he wrote, but as a means to feel something, anything, in the emotional vacuum left by his mother's death.
Harry says his memories of the next few days are fragmented, greeting mourners outside Kensington Palace in London the day before his mother's funeral.
He also described taking psychedelics, such as magic mushrooms and ayahuasca, as an adult. For Harry, these were not recreational experiences, but attempts at healing. Tools he believed helped him process unspoken trauma, the suffocating pressures of royal life, and a lifetime of suppressed emotions. But Harry's revelations went beyond his personal journey. In Spare, he launched pointed and deeply personal criticisms at his own family, particularly his brother, Prince William. Harry also accused King Charles of emotional neglect, describing his father as emotionally distant and incapable of offering comfort after Diana's death.
That Diana, Princess of Wales, has in fact been killed in that car accident.
He recalled how Charles allegedly joked that he was only meant to produce an heir and a spare, a remark Harry interpreted as dehumanizing and indicative of his peripheral status within the royal institution. His relationship with Queen Camilla was also targeted. Harry accused her of leaking stories to the press to rehabilitate her image and gain favor with the public and media. These revelations weren't limited to the page. In his explosive 2021 interview with Oprah Winfrey, Harry and Meghan described their experiences inside the royal institution as damaging and, at times, dehumanizing. Meghan revealed that a senior royal had raised concerns about the potential skin tone of their unborn child.
Concerns and conversations about how dark his skin might be when he's born.
An allegation that rocked the monarchy and sparked global backlash. While the couple did not name the individual involved, the insinuation of racism within the family caused widespread public debate. Harry confirmed that William and Charles were trapped in the system and expressed sadness over how his family had handled the situation, saying, "They don't get to leave." The couple also discussed the intense rift between Meghan and Kate Middleton. Meghan refuted long-circulating tabloid rumors that she had made Kate cry before her wedding, instead claiming it was Kate who had made her cry, though she also said Kate apologized and brought flowers. However, the incident highlighted the tension between the two women and, more broadly, between the two couples. The relationship between William and Harry further deteriorated in the aftermath, as loyalty to their respective spouses deepened the divide. In January 2023, as part of the promotional run for Spare, Harry appeared in high-profile interviews on 60 Minutes, CBS, and Harry, The Interview, ITV. He doubled down on his decision to speak out publicly, saying he had remained silent for years, and that doing so had only enabled the palace and the press to shape the narrative against him and Meghan. "The silence has been the greatest betrayal," he said, emphasizing his right to own my story after years of being cast as the royal family's outlier. Since then, the rift between Harry and William has only deepened. Harry's choice to go public has left the monarchy at a crossroads. While some view his actions as a courageous break from royal silence and stigma, others see them as a betrayal. What remains clear is that the wounds between Harry and his family, especially his brother, are still fresh and far from healed. How departure of Harry impacted William's life. Prince Harry's departure from royal duties marked a turning point not just for the monarchy, but also for his older brother, Prince William. Once part of a dynamic duo symbolizing a modern royal future, William was suddenly left to navigate the pressures of duty, family, and public scrutiny largely on his own. The emotional distance from Harry created a void, both as a working partner and as a brotherly confidant, that reshaped William's path. Without Harry by his side, William has taken on a significantly heavier load. The past few years have tested him deeply, as he's shouldered increasing responsibilities while coping with personal challenges, including the serious health issues faced by his father, King Charles III, and his wife, Catherine, Princess of Wales. With both battling illness at overlapping times, William has had to maintain composure in the public eye while quietly managing the emotional toll of caring for those closest to him, largely without the support of his once trusted brother. This strain has contributed to a noticeable shift in William's personality. Once known for his relaxed and approachable demeanor, he has become more reserved, focused, and formal. Friends and observers note a man shaped by pressure and solitude, committed deeply to his role, but marked by the weight of loss and responsibility. He is increasingly seen as the stabilizing force of the monarchy, a role he embraces with seriousness, but at great personal cost. In essence, Prince Harry's exit and the silence that followed left William not only preparing for kingship, but doing so without the emotional buffer that brotherhood once provided. As he juggles public duty and private heartache, William has emerged more stoic, deeply loyal to the crown, and visibly alone in carrying the future of the monarchy forward. William's silent resilience. Prince William has maintained an unshakable public silence amid Harry's revelations. While Harry has chosen openness through interviews and his memoir, William has refused to engage in any public back and forth. Sources confirm he doesn't talk about Harry anymore and believes the subject shouldn't be brought up in public. When Spare and Harry's BBC interview dropped in early 2023, William stayed silent. The royal family typically follows the motto, "Never complain, never explain." William, in line with this policy, left Harry's claims unanswered. Even when Harry mentioned a sibling fight and criticized the family, William did not publicly reply. In May 2025, after Harry's BBC interview and Supreme Court setback over United Kingdom security, insiders said William was done with reconciliation and refused to speak about his brother again. Buckingham Palace offered no reaction, sticking to official legal communications rather than personal comments. William's silence reflects a deep-rooted belief in preserving royal dignity. Experts say his stance prevents escalation and keeps focus on duties, not drama. Analysts believe he sees engagement as fueling stories that harm both family and institution, especially since Harry publicized confidential family disputes. Catherine's role as William's anchor. Catherine, Princess of Wales, is Prince William's steady support, both emotionally and strategically. She balances royal duties with family life, helping William stay grounded amid pressure. Kate has a strong sense of calm and stability. She often attends events with William, such as mental health campaigns and charity visits, and quietly shares the emotional load. Observers say her calm presence reassures him during tough moments. When William, dealing with family tensions or media scrutiny, needs support, Kate is there with empathetic listening and private advice. Emotionally, Catherine understands the royal pressures. She has said she faced lack of confidence and felt ignorant at times in her role, especially after becoming a parent. Strategically, Kate and William coordinate public appearances and share duties for initiatives like Heads Together, the mental health charity. She inspires public confidence in their philanthropic agenda by supporting through actions, not words. Protecting family peace. Avoiding Meghan discussions. To protect her family's emotional peace, Catherine consciously avoids talking about Meghan Markle. Sources say discussions about Meghan are unwelcome at Kensington Palace as they cause Kate stress. Insiders report she is deeply wounded by Meghan's claims, especially those in the Oprah interview and Harry's memoir, and found them upsetting. Earlier, Kate tried to keep the peace between Harry and William. She had hoped for unity among the four royals until the differences became too big. Now, palace observers say she no longer plays the role of mediator. Catherine's focus is now on preserving a positive environment at home and shielding her children from ongoing family drama. Her silence is deliberate. Rather than engaging in public disputes or responding to Meghan's claims or Harry's books, she chooses emotional self-protection. As one insider put it, her withdrawal is about protecting her peace and her children. The title passed down to Prince William. On May 16, 2025, a significant royal ceremony took place at Westminster Abbey when King Charles III passed the honorary title of Great Master of the Order of the Bath to his eldest son, Prince William.
Britain's King Charles and Prince William attended the historic Order of the Bath service at Westminster Abbey.
The Order of the Bath, founded in 1725 by King George I, is one of the oldest and most respected British orders of chivalry, honoring top military officers and senior civil servants. Although it no longer includes its original bath ritual, the name reflects the old tradition of purification before knighthood. This year's ceremony marked the 300th anniversary of the order, and the title transfer from Charles to William was more than just symbolic. It represented trust, tradition, and preparation for the future. As Great Master, William steps into a key ceremonial role that his father once held before becoming king. Just as Charles once prepared under Queen Elizabeth II, the location, Westminster Abbey, added deeper meaning. The church has long been the site of royal coronations, funerals, and important national services. Inside the Henry VII Lady Chapel, 5 new Knights Grand Cross were installed in a solemn religious service. The king and prince entered separately to follow tradition, but before the service began, Charles gently placed a hand on William's shoulder, a brief but touching moment that showed affection and trust. Both men wore crimson robes and joined a formal procession watched by members of the order and the press. Publicly, the event was a clear message. William is being gradually prepared for greater responsibility, and the monarchy is moving forward with stability and unity. Privately, the moment likely carried emotional weight, as father and son marked a formal transition during a time of change within the royal family. Though William did not speak during the event, body language experts noted that he seemed serious and focused, possibly reflecting the pressure of stepping further into his future role. Media outlets described the moment as a rare joint appearance between the king and the prince and highlighted its importance for the monarchy's public image. As Great Master, William will now play a central role in future Order of the Bath events, gaining experience and visibility as a senior royal. More duties for Prince William. After the passing of Queen Elizabeth II in September 2022,
let's look at the moment that death of Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II was formally announced.
The relationship between King Charles and Prince William began to shift in important ways. Charles became king, and the next day, he named William the new Prince of Wales, a move that signaled clear support and trust. This marked the start of a new phase in their relationship, with both men working more closely to plan the future of the monarchy. While Charles is known for his careful diplomatic style, and William focuses more on practical matters and modern causes, they have learned to function as a united team. Experts and royal insiders say that since the Queen's death, the father and son have spent more time talking about what lies ahead, which has helped strengthen their bond. Rather than stepping aside, King Charles has given William more duties. Charles is not expected to abdicate, but is instead allowing a slow and steady transfer of responsibilities.
King Charles and Prince William greeted attendees, adding a personal touch to this prestigious and symbolic event.
However, the path has not been entirely smooth. There are tensions, especially around Prince Andrew's future. While Charles has let Andrew attend some royal events, William disagrees with this move. Reports call this a power struggle between Charles and William. Still, most experts say the royal family is trying to handle these differences behind the scenes. At the same time, Charles has taken a cautious approach with reforms, such as waiting to give William and Kate the power to grant royal warrants. This careful planning shows Charles's desire to keep the monarchy stable and avoid sudden changes. William seems to support this idea and is stepping into his role with care. As King Charles deals with health issues, including cancer, William is expected to take on more responsibilities. This gradual handover helps the public adjust and keeps trust in the monarchy strong. Even with personal disagreements, Charles and William both understand their shared goal: to protect and guide the royal family into the future. William, along with his wife Kate, is seen as the face of the next generation. While Charles remains king, his actions show that he is slowly preparing his son to lead Prince William's modern mission. Prince William wants to make the British royal family feel more modern, caring, and close to regular people, while still respecting old traditions. He doesn't just want to wave from balconies and go to fancy events. Instead, he wants to help solve real problems. In 2020, he started the Earthshot Prize to support ideas that help the planet. He also created the Homewards program to fight homelessness.
Prince William has launched a 5-year project to end homelessness in the UK. The pilot project will be spread across 6 areas of the UK.
William cares deeply about mental health, which may come from losing his mother as a young lad, who had no idea how to cope with such a great loss and the constant media coverage of that difficult period. At that time, he was told to stay strong and hide his feelings. Now, he wants to raise his kids in a healthier way, where talking about emotions is okay. William is still very loyal to the crown and takes his royal role seriously, especially now that he's next in line after King Charles. Many people in the United Kingdom admire him. Around 75% had a positive view in a 2023 poll. But some people prefer his brother, Prince Harry, who stepped away from royal life and spoke openly about feeling left out. Harry's book and interviews got lots of attention, especially in the United States, though his United Kingdom popularity dropped. The media often shows William as calm and dutiful, and Harry as emotional and bold. Their different paths have caused a public split, with people picking sides. Big events like King Charles's coronation were sometimes overshadowed by news about Harry. William knows the royal family needs to change to stay important, so he focuses on kindness, family, and cutting out traditions that don't work anymore. He wants his children to grow up in a more balanced royal world, one that remembers the past but builds a better future. Many young people in the United Kingdom no longer feel that the monarchy matters. He's trying to connect with them through charity work and speaking out on issues that matter. Lastly, people question whether royals should be important just because of birth. William knows he must earn respect by doing good. He's not copying the past, he's building something new. Whether it works will shape how people remember him. We hope you enjoyed this video. Stay tuned for more amazing stories.